Okay, good morning, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, and also share the video if necessary. So now we're going to do a video today on how to make a double-breasted jacket dress. So let us start. Double-breasted means that, of course, there are going to be two buttons on the suit instead of one, right? So let us start. So now, number one, I want us to take note that the dress does not have a shoulder pad, so we're going to take note of that. So we're going to start with the shoulder. Her shoulder is 16 and a half. So that's the shoulder of the person I'm making a dress for is 16 and a half. That's 8 1/4. Then you add your ½ inch for sleeve joining. Then you take the measurement down to the armhole area. Now the armhole distance I'm going to be using for this person is 8 1/2 for now. If there's any adjustments, I'll make the adjustments when necessary. Then her bust line is 11. Her half length is 17. Then her hip line, I'm doing it 10 inches from the half length, which is 27. Okay, so let's continue. Now her bust is 41 and a half. I'm going to be doing 42 because the dress itself is not even supposed to be tight, because it's buttons that they used to, and it's buttons, it's not zip. So if it's a buttoned dress, it's not supposed to be so tight for ease of movement. So I'm using 42 and I'm adding 1.5 inches allowance to the bust. Now her waist is 36. I'm going to be adding, maybe I'll do it at her actual waist because she actually wants it she wants it fitted though. So I'll just try, maybe I'll just add ½ inch extra to her waist. So I'm going to be doing her waist at 37, so that it's not so tight. Now her waist is 37, so I'm using 37. Like I said, I'm adding 1 inch, so that's 9 1/4. Then I'm adding 2 inches, one for that and one for sewing allowance, and that's it here. All right, okay. Then we go to the hip. Her hip is 42 and a half, but I'm going to do her hip at 44. Why? Because the hip is not supposed to be tight, because it's not a zipped dress, it's a buttoned dress. So for the hip, okay, I'm going to add 1.5 inch to the 44. So that's it here, right? Then we draw our, if you can't draw with your free hand, you can use your pattern ruler to make a nice curve, right? It's still the same, right? Okay, so now this measurement, I'm taking this measurement all the way down. It's going to be straight down. If you look at the picture, that was what they did. Okay, so now for the neckline, I'm using I'm using a width at the back, a back width of 2.5, right? So the lapel is not too open by half, or no, 3/4. Like I love to use 3/4. No reason. Then I slant. Then we do our curve, armhole curve. Then we can now cut. Okay, so now we are done with the back. For the front, we are preparing for the front now. Okay, so now we are ready for the front. For the front, because it's a double-breasted jacket, so it's going to be crossing. We're going to be keeping an excess of 3.5 unfold for the front. Now this is very important. Just follow me. Now, the neck width, a bit depth, is going to be 4 inches. That goes back to, okay, so this is how it's going to be. 4 inches goes back to 3 inches. You can see that. Okay, that's number one. Then number two is that we are, since it's a double-breasted and we are crossing it by 3.5 inches, we are not going to be, we don't need to keep a lapel, as in the width is okay for both the crossing and for the lapel. So we're not, it's going to be straight. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So we're not going to keep any, we're not going to take in anything. It's just going to be straight down like that. So let's continue. Okay, so this is now how it's going to be. Okay, so after you have cut your front, there's still one more thing you need to do, because of the width of the because it's a double-breasted and a double-breasted jacket, and you kept a width of an excess of 3.5 inches. Now for most jackets, for the lapel it's usually 2.5 inches we keep for that's the most that we keep for lapels. So what you have to do now, since you kept 3.5 because it's a double-breasted, you now have to take in 1 inch, take out 1 inch from the neckline towards the bust line. Curve towards the bust line, and curve it towards the bust line like this. So we are good to go now. So this is now our double-breasted jacket. So now we're going to be cutting the other things, the lining and the facing for the lapel. Oh yeah, you can. Want to cut the facing for the lapel. Now, of course, if it were a normal jacket, you make the facing 1 inch shorter, right, so that it enters inside. But because it's a dress, we're going to make it the same length, so we continue. And of course, see what I did, you divide it into two, right? You divide so this is the first half that would get the facing, then the second half will be for the lining. Okay, so we've gotten the facing. Now for the lining. We use the suit lining. Preferable. Preferable. Okay. So what we usually do is we take this, right? Put it, because of course you know that you join it by half inch, so that's 1 inch. So you put it 1 inch above the 1 inch on the lining. Then that's how I do mine. Then I place the whole thing on top and cut. Sorry, I don't like waste. I don't really like to waste anything at all. So I'm gonna shift it in a bit and do it again. Okay, I can manage this waste. Mm. Okay, so it cuts. The details on how to sew this double-breasted jacket is on my YouTube channel, right? It's almost the same thing with the jacket. So this is a dress, just the difference. So if you want to know how we get the detail of how we sewed it, you can go to where I taught how to sew a double-breasted jacket and go through, right? So now our the interface we're using for our dress is going to be hair stay. We're going to stay the body for maybe added fullness, added structure, and the facing. That's all. Okay, so I would show you how we put the pleats later on. Okay, so now we want to put the pleats. You first fill the bottom of the dress. Okay, so now that we've done this, we want to put the pleats. So we have sealed the sides, we have sealed the bottom too, so we just need to put it starting from here. Okay, so now if you don't know how to, we're going to be doing like 2 inches pleats basically. So if you don't know how to measure, like maybe it may take time, but if you want to achieve accurate pleating, you can decide to measure. But I'm going to be doing 2 inches pleats round. Okay. So what I do is that the pleats will touch the other pleats inside from here. Sometimes it even overlaps, so that basically for a fuller effect. But at least at most let it touch the other pleat inside. Or slightly overlap a little so that it's full. Another way to do it is to mark the middle of the pleats, then mark the middle of the fabric so that you don't make mistakes. You pleat from middle to end, pleat from the middle to the other end. That way you achieve an accurate pleat. Okay, guys, so this is how it turned out after the pleats. So it's all pleated in. So this is how the dress now looks like before we attach our collar and our sleeves. Okay, so like I explained, the best method to get the pleats is to pleat from midpoint to the edge and the other midpoint to the other edge. Okay, so that's the way to get even pleats without stress. So this is how it turned out. Our beautiful jacket dress, all beautiful and fine. Hope you try yours too. Thank you.